Batman issue 81 sees Joker talk about the designer drawing the villain on a napkin along with Penguin, Riddler and Catwoman, telling a captured bartender all about the villains and what they wanted from the designer. Soon he gets to himself, saying that he alone knew the devil's game, so when it came his turn to tell the designer what he wanted, Joker says that he wanted to become the devil, and because of it, he killed the designer. The bartender wonders why he's being told all of this, and Joker tells him it's about context, wanting to make sure he can follow all his little jokes he's about to pull. After critiquing the bartender's drinks, Joker grabs his phone, calling Punchline, hoping she is ready to finish the job since he wants to bring the house down with this one. Deathstroke meanwhile is being pursued by the bat drones still, slashing a few of them up, knowing this all has to be expensive, even for Batman. Lucius knows that Slade is right, since Harley has burned through much of the non-lethal ammo. Batman wants him to call the drones back, which angers Harley, who quits the game. Slade knows that Batman is there with him as the Nightcrawler arrives above the villain. As Slade attacks the jet, Batman knows that he needs to break free from the pattern of the design and needs to change direction. Catwoman meanwhile meets with Harley, who comments on Batman's intensity during this particular battle. Selina tells Harley to come with her, causing Harley to ask why Selina is in such a mood, wondering if Batman told her who he really is under the mask. Selina says that she already knows who Batman is, intriguing Harley since she thought that they kept their masks on and that Batman was a really boring guy who ate tacos and Selina is a mean librarian. Selina waves off the comments and tells Harley to babysit the assassins, but soon they find the assassins have all escaped. The designer soon appears on the view screens in the cells, saying that he has taken the assassins off the board since he didn't need them in his great design, but he needed them to act like a side effect. Soon he reveals he has taken over some of the GCPD SWAT team, sending the men after the two women. Batman meanwhile confronts Deathstroke on the wing of his jet. Batman tells him that he didn't bring Slade up into the sky to battle and throw him off the jet. He wants him to see something. He tells Slade to look down at the city, since there are 9 million people living in Gotham, and when Bane took over, faith in government actually went up because they were scared like never before, and he is now trying to offer them some peace by rebuilding the city. Slade doesn't care at all, but Batman knows better and knows that it is his fault Gotham is scared, but he spent his entire career using his wealth and power to fight the costume people like Slade over and over, and because of it, he always needs to make bigger and more frightening weapons to stop them. Batman attacks Slade, saying that how he started by wanting to stop muggers in alleys, but the mugger always came back with a bigger gun. Slade says that Batman escalated this first and needs to stop pretending that his hand was forced by them. Bruce says that he is trying to change that and do everything he promised, but Slade and people like him need to stop and let him save the people. Slade doesn't want to do that, so Batman tackles him off the jet. Slade is angered knowing Batman just killed them both, and the hero knows that he has, so he might as well skip to the end of the story where Slade tells him where the designer is hiding. Harley and Catwoman meanwhile fight the infected GCPD SWAT members. Designer says that Catwoman won't find an off switch in the computer systems that Riddler left behind, and Selina tells him that she isn't looking for one, but an on switch to Riddler's bombs rigged all over his lair. Selina finds the code, activating the pressure tiles that the SWAT team would have run over as her and Harley escape while the building explodes. In the rubble, Catwoman helps the trapped Harley, shocked that she actually survived. Selina says that they need to keep moving since she figured out what the designer is going to steal, which is more money than anyone has ever stolen, and she told him how to do it. Harley thinks that that was a dumb move on her part and wonders what they will do now, so Selina tells her that they will steal the fortune first. Batman and Deathstroke meanwhile continue to fall, but Slade knows that he's going to use his grapple hook at the last minute. Batman begrudgingly uses the hook, but before they can continue their fight on the ground, Designer appears on the city screens, along with the infected cops who attack Batman and Deathstroke, forcing the two to work together. Designer asks how Batman is feeling, hoping that he is up for another game. Batman, however, isn't in the mood and wants this to end now and wants the villain to face him in person, but the Riddler, donned in his new costume, appears, saying that that wouldn't be fair, since after all, he hasn't had a turn to play yet. Batman issue 91 was another really awesome and action-packed issue that set out Selina and Harley Harley's little part of the story nicely by pitting them against a heist of the century kind of deal. I also liked Batman having a cool moment with Slade on his jet, and I like the idea of the escalation Batman has had to deal with, from it just being simple muggers and alleyways to people like Slade, super soldier assassins and stuff like that. And I enjoy that Slade actually called him out on his shit, where Batman really is the first one to escalate, which again is totally true thanks to all the gadgets and the bat drones and the night crawlers he builds, most of which we have seen in this arc. So it's a great little piece of setup by James Tynion there to prove that Batman is always escalating things just to be ahead of the curve a little bit. I'm looking forward to the Riddler also getting a moment to shine over the next couple of issues, especially now with his Frank Gorshin inspired costume from the Batman 66 show, which looks really fantastic here, and I'm intrigued to see what he has planned for The Dark Knight. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.